The Africa Centers of Excellence are seeking partnerships with industry and the private sector to generate greater impact and increase their relevance in education and research. The Africa Center for Infectious Diseases of Humans and Animals, ACEIDHA, at the University of Zambia has collaborated with key stakeholders in strategic sectors. One such stakeholder in the private sector is Chaminuka Game Reserve. This reserve has had a cordial relationship with the University of Zambia for some time now. With the establishment of this center in 2018, Chaminuka has hosted a number of research projects in animal health. Professor Muso Muyeme is a lecturer at the School of Veterinary Medicine at the University of Zambia.
Chaminuka is what we call a closed interface. By closed, we mean that it has got a contiguous formation. There are no activities from outside. All the activities are fenced in. As such, what is happening is that it has got a number of ecological benefits and issues which our students can come and learn from. One of the key aspects is that our students will come here to do ecological studies. They do ecological audits, habitat evaluation, habitat audits, and also just general environmental understanding. Apart from that, like we are here, we are under what we call the Kaposhi cheese. They have productivity. They produce cheese from their dairy animals. So our students will come because this is a food chain. So they follow it from primary production, and this is the finished product, which is the secondary production. So it's one of the aspects which is key on the food safety. Then some of the research our students do is in wildlife. Some it's in environment, then some it's in infectious diseases.
The professor says this collaboration with Chaminuka Game Reserve has contributed greatly in the advancement of research.
You see, most of the protected areas are very far. And when we do theoretical teaching, they come to appreciate the practical aspects when they come here. They see the actual aspects in reality, starting from the environment, forest degradation, fragmentation. There are certain areas we have actually enhanced through ACEIDHA. Yes, these were not enhanced some time back, but now they have been enhanced. Students will come, instead of the university paying, which used to be, now the university does not pay. The students will come here, they camp, they do all the research, they get the information. And like we have said, some have been published in very good journals, data-based from here, which if they had to go to other areas, the amount which they could have spent would have been astronomical.
But how has the partnership worked for Chaminuka? Amonson Mugala is the tourism manager.
As students do their research, we do provide them with the necessary tools that they require. From our side, yes, Chaminuka also give them tours, depending on what type of research that they are conducting. For the benefits that we are getting from UNZA, I'll give an example of the research that was done on the ticks. Yes, so that study that was done, the report that came from that research, it helped us to understand the types of ticks that we have here and how they affect our wild animals. So basically, I would say in general, it helps us on how to manage the wildlife that we have here.
Among the many that have had a privilege to do research at this game reserve is Muia Simata and Mambo Bagos. The two are pursuing a Master of Science in Ecological Public Health at the University of Zambia. For Muia Simata, the support from the center and the Chaminuka partnership is something he's grateful for.
During these assessments, some of the key issues that actually emerge were, doing the mapping. So you need to understand these areas where these animals are interacting. Like in the case of Chaminuka, it's a game reserve. So that entails that it's quite a huge area, and really working in a day and mapping it wouldn't be easier. But then through the skills learned during lectures and during the theoretical aspect, I think we are empowered and inspired to use tools like geographical information systems, but also use Google Earth just to help in terms of understanding the spatial orientation of the area, so it is actually easier for planning and mitigation of any unforeseen ecological shocks.
Muya has had an opportunity through the center's support to participate in a research on vegetative land use.
So this vegetative land use helps me to really understand how different tree species could help mitigate impacts of climate change. We understand that trees are very important for sequestrating carbon dioxide, and as now climate change is actually a phenomenon that has actually been mentioned by everyone across the globe. And I think it's evident that there are a lot of impacts that have come by. So my interest was really trying to map and trying to look at the distribution of those trees and of what relevance are they to the immediate environment.
Mambo Bagos is also under the support of the Africa Center for Infectious Diseases of Humans and Animals at the University of Zambia in the School of Veterinary Medicine.
We had an ecological assessment where we focus on keystone species. Those keystone species, the identified keystone species, we are looking at different species of birds, since Chaminuka has got about 300 different bird species. So I personally, focused on identified bird keystone species like guinea-fowls. So these guinea-fowls, they play a significant role in the environment, whereby they feed on ticks, and as you know that ticks, they are the carriers of some of the zoonotic diseases like Lyme disease and all those things. So like since this place here has got human beings as well, animals, birds, there is it's an interface where people are interacting. So in the process of interacting there, we said that it's also good to focus on these bird keystone species that can help us in eliminating the population of ticks in this area.
For this ecological public health student, the regular visits to this game reserve are key to his study and research.
Hoping to do my research next year just from here and focusing on that same identified keystone species, since it's not just for the sake of like passing an exam or passing classrooms, but it's also for helping these two institutions, University of Zambia as well as Chaminuka here, because both organizations can still benefit out of that same project that I would do.
The Africa Center for Infectious Diseases of Humans and Animals Center leader, Professor Bernard Hangombe, says the center and Chaminuka have a partnership agreement that is mutually beneficial.
We have partners, private partners, that are more concentrated with livestock. We have private partners that are more concentrated with aquaculture, which is fish. We have private partners that are concentrated more to wildlife. So the benefit for them is that if there is something that goes wrong, they'll easily call on experts to actually attend to them. But on our part, we are benefiting, we are sending our students to these establishments where our students will get first-hand information in the way these industries operate and in whatever they actually want to achieve. So it is a 50-50 partnership in such a way.
These mutually beneficial partnerships will produce groundbreaking research and innovation that solves complex problems and creates a more skilled workforce.